Neil Gorsuch, for whom you voted, don't you think he's probably going to vote to overturn Roe versus Wade if given the chance?
I actually don't. We talked about whether he considered Roe to be settled law. He said that he agreed with what Justice Roberts said at his nomination hearing, in which he said that it was settled law. When I asked him, would it be sufficient to overturn a long-established precedent if 5 current justices believed that it was wrongly decided, he emphatically said no.
We have huge breaking news tonight, and I can't even believe I'm going to tell you what I'm about to tell you. But in a highly, indeed, as far as I can tell, utterly unprecedented leak from the Supreme Court, Politico has obtained what they say is an initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Alito showing the Supreme Court striking down Roe versus Wade.
Today, Senator Collins reacted to the news with a brief statement saying in part, quote, if this leaked draft opinion is the final decision and this reporting is accurate, it would be completely inconsistent with what Justice Gorsuch and Justice Kavanaugh said in their hearings and in our meetings in my office, unquote.
Senator Susan Collins of Maine is shocked, you guys. She cannot believe that conservative judges have voted to overturn Roe v. Wade, thereby getting rid of abortion rights throughout the nation. Basically, states are going to have the right to ban abortion where and whenever they please. Susan Collins, she can't believe it, guys. She was assured by meetings that she had with Gorsuch and Kavanaugh that they would never overturn Roe v. Wade. They would always respect the president. She put out a quote saying, if this leaked draft opinion is the final decision and this reporting is accurate, it would be completely inconsistent with what Justice Gorsuch and Justice Kavanaugh said in their hearings in our meetings in my office. This is stupid for like 20 different reasons, but the first of which being that anti-choice is the position of an overwhelming majority of people in this woman's own party. I would say something like 90-something% of Republican politicians are publicly anti-choice people. So therefore, it would stand to reason that people, Republicans in the national government, candidates who they overwhelmingly support, are also overwhelmingly anti-choice. This is just dumb. The idea that the people that the GOP overwhelmingly supported to become Supreme Court nominees, which, you know, Gorsuch and Kavanaugh, and forget Comey Barrett, because she's kind of been upfront about, like, I'm anti-choice. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, the idea that this decision would come up in the court and that they would go against it is ridiculous, and a stupidity just on its face from Collins here. And the second really stupid and annoying part of this is so many elites, particularly people in Washington, they have this reverence and, you know, they get all sanctimonious about the courts as if the courts has been this engine for social change and democracy. It's an undemocratically elected body, first of all. It's a lifetime appointment. And for the basically hundreds of years that it's been in existence, there's been a 30-year, 35-year period where they had some progressive decisions like Brown versus Board of Ed, Roe v. Wade, stuff like that. And that's been it. It's been a 30-year anomaly, and the rest has been a conservative-ass court making conservative decisions. This has been what has been consistent about the court. So for people like Collins to pretend that the court would be this engine to uphold progressive ideas and, you know, they would not do the conservative thing, that would go against hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of norms at the court. So this is ridiculous. And lastly, what I would like folks to understand is that Susan Collins is one of these Republicans that these bipartisan circle jerkers would have you believe is a quote-unquote moderate. She's one of the people that you can work with whenever they talk about, oh, we got to do something bipartisan, when you talk about people like Manchin and the cinemas and all these other idiots, in the Democratic Party. These are the kind of Republicans that they're pointing towards. But this woman, when push comes to shove, she always votes with Republicans. She never deviates from the plan. So this idea that there are all these moderates out there, all these people that you can work with, like, this is more proof positive that it's a ridiculous notion and it's baseless on its face. She's a Republican. She votes with the Republicans. The idea that she's crying wolf, that, you know, judges that had overwhelming support from Republicans would deviate from the Republican norm is just stupid, and we can get rid of that notion as well.